Well, here we are going back to Welch, West Virginia, my hometown. It's not a place I go visit very often. I have a few family members still around this area, but we don't talk. It's every once in a while we hear something out of each other or something like that. There's a couple people I went to school with that still live up here. I see them on social media, and that's about it. It's just one of my things I've always wanted to do. And I told a story on Facebook, well, just about 3 years ago now, when week before I had my first surgery in my life, I bought this bike, and this bike was a lifelong goal of mine to have. And I can kind of give you a little rundown of that story. It's just me growing up in a poor kid in a dying town, and all the motorcycles around here. I've always had this love affair with motorcycles ever since I can remember. I always thought they was like the coolest thing ever. And everything around here pretty much said Honda, Suzuki, and you had the occasional Harley Davidson. That was it. You didn't see anything. And this dude comes out of the mountains. This place that we used to hang out at was where a mining fan would blow air down into the mines, and the fan was gone. The mine's been closed for a long time, but that piece of concrete was still there. And that dude stopped there, and I just so happened to be sitting there, and I saw this bike, and at the time I think they were the R80 GS's, and I forgot what size engine they had them in at the time, but I was like, man, what the hell is that? Because, you know, I've seen dirt bikes, you know, you see those, you know, most of the time there's four-wheelers of dirt bikes. That's what most people had, just to ride in the mountains, and everything on the street was just a cruiser. So here's this bike that rolls up in there, and this thing was beat all to hell. And it was a BMW R80 GS. And that dude kind of looked at me, and I walked over to him, and I just started asking him about his motorcycle. And I just kept asking him all these questions, like, man, what is this? Why is the engine sideways? How does that work? And all this other stuff. And I got in this conversation, and I'm like 11, 12 years old. This guy's up in his late 30s. He looked like he's about late 30s, early 40s. And he was just so proud to sit there and tell me everything about it, you know. And I was like, hey man, where's the chain? Where's the chain? I didn't know they had a shaft drive on a motorcycle. I didn't know that was possible. And he was showing me all about it, and it turned out that he had told me, like, he's like, yeah, he was raised here, left here like most people did, you know. His family moved away and stuff when he was like 15, 16 years old, but he worked for BMW here in the States, and he was doing research and stuff for him. And I was like, man, that was crazy to me. And he had all this gear on there. I was like, man, that's camping. He's like, yeah, I was up in the mountains, I was doing moto camping. And I was like, what the hell is moto camping? And he just kept telling me all about that. And he, to the point, I asked him so many questions, to the point I'm like, man, I'm being annoying to this guy. I'm sure he wants to get out of here. And I was like, you know, I don't want to hold you up or nothing, but no, we sit there and talk probably about an hour. And then he's like, I am on this road going to Welch. And I was like, yeah, man, you just go down, and, you know, because up here we have hollers, even though I know they're spelled hollow, we call them hollers. And he's like, okay. I was like, yeah, you get down to the stop sign, you'll be on the main street, you know, Store Street, just turn right, and he'll take you right into town. Okay, and that was it. And it became my life goal to, like, man, I wanted one of these bikes from that moment on. I just had to have it. But you didn't see these kind of bikes. They didn't exist around here. There's damn sure no BMW dealership around here. There probably still isn't a BMW dealer for motorcycles around here within 100, 200 miles. It's just, you know, a very much an oddity. You know, you're going to find Hondas and Yamahas and stuff like that. You're going to find some Harley Davidsons around here. But, you know, like for years, every time a motorcycle magazine come out, and there would always be dirt bike magazines and stuff like that, or somebody might have a muscle car magazine, have a picture of a bike. I would go look for this bike, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have that bike one day. And, you know, as you get older, you kind of realize, like, well, you know, they're probably not gonna make that particular model anymore. You know, they're not gonna make a bike like that anymore. It's gonna be come and gone. But no, that they've been making it, and this is a 40-year anniversary of this particular model. Now granted, it's had a ton of updates since then. Hey, that's how you used to get to my high school. Well, I guess you still go to the high school, but yeah, we had to go up that mountain every day. And all the buses out here, this used to be a car dealership. My dad worked there when I was a kid. But I always said one day I'm gonna have this bike. And we grew up here, everybody here's poor. It's well, not everybody, but 99% of people here, they're poor. They can't afford this thing. And it was like, I moved to Fredericksburg, Virginia, in like 2003, and they had a BMW dealership in there, and I think it was like 2004 before I finally like, man, I'm gonna go in there. And, you know, I had owned by then 2 motorcycles. I had a Kawasaki Vulcan 1500, and I had a Suzuki Boulevard that I had. So I watched that video and I saw the price tag on these things. I was like, oh man, that is never going to happen. And I figured one day, well, maybe one day I'll just buy one used or something like that. And the opportunities never did. And it took me another till 2021. So you're talking about something that happened probably around 1983, 84. And it took me to 2021 to actually buy this bike. And I had actually already bought another brand new BMW, and I almost bought this bike that day, but I needed that bike for a different purpose, or my wife had her injuries. What in the world is all that? Looks like little camping sites or something for the ATVs that come up here and ride. So it is cool if you do come up here and you want to ride ATVs, you can ride them right on the damn highway. That is allowed here. My town that I live in now, it's got a population of like 1,200 people, but even though it's a really, really small town, you're not that far away from anything, and it's still pretty nice. The town itself don't have crap in it, but you go 8 miles down the road and you're in major cities. You go 30 minutes down the road and you're in a major metropolitan. So it's a lot different living than here. Every time I come up here, I tend to get into a bad mood, just because of the way I grew up. People that know me really close know that I was in a very abusive household. My mother was batshit crazy. My father was just a bully, and that's just facts. Anybody who sees this video, they get mad because I say that. No, it's just a fact. I was never scared of anything in my life except for him. The reasons I had to back down as a kid, because if I got into a fight with another kid and I lost, then I had to go fight him, and that wasn't going to go well for me. But I try to keep that out of my mind for this trip. Just this is something like I accomplished my goal. Now, a lot of people who, when they see this video, and I'm going to take a little bit before I upload it, are going to get super pissed at me because I really, really shouldn't be on this motorcycle. I was out of work 6 months last year with spine and groin issues. Well, they fixed my groin. That was the quicker thing to do, and the spine thing kind of got a little bit better, so I went back to work for like 2 months, and something popped in my back. It's, like something just went horribly wrong. And I've been out of work, so I'm finally scheduled for surgery next month. So this will be the 4th surgery since I got this motorcycle. So I haven't been able to enjoy this motorcycle the way I want to, but this surgery that I'm going to have, they're going to fuse my neck together, and I'm not super scared of it or worried about it, but when you're talking about somebody like drilling holes in your spine and putting screws into bone, and everything that controls your body is running right through there, it's a lot to think about. And this trip here is on my bucket list, things I want to do in my life. It's just to come up here and bring the bike to the same spot. Even though I'm not going to stop there, I'm going to drive past it because I know that belongs to somebody now. They tore up all that concrete and flooded those mines, and I used to know who actually had the mobile home there. I think it's just a double wide, if I remember correctly. It's been so long, I can't even tell you that, but I don't know if that's still the same people that live there, and I'm not going to pull up in the middle of somebody's house and shoot a bunch of video. But it's right next to where I spent the last couple years of my life when I lived here. That was a weird way to say it, but the last few years I lived here as a teenager is a better way to say it. The last place I lived in is right there, up on a hill, which that place is gone too. Like, the saying is you can never go back home. Well, for me, I really can't. The first house I spent the first 10 years of my life in is gone. I think that's a trash dump up there now. You can't even get to it. Then they've also built a prison up there, a state prison up there, so you ain't going up there. Then we moved out of there and moved to the trailer park, and I can talk trash about trailer trash because I am one, or I are one. Since I'm up here, I'm going to say that I are one. Sound like a complete idiot. Now I gotta watch this through here because they did reverse this town. My understanding, like, I don't know how the hell this works now. Well, I know that still seems like the same turn to me, but with these big trucks, I know it's a tight turn for them because that's what I do for a living. Watch them do their thing. I don't know what he was doing there, trying to fake a stop or something. I don't know. But I pull up here at a stop sign and take a look and pull on out. The big almighty town of Welch. You know, I had to come up here when I moved there in 2002. I had to go up to that courthouse, get my birth certificate, because I didn't have my own copy, so I had to go get a real copy before I moved. But, you know, you always got to prove that you were born. Now, this might be the most people I've seen in town forever. I mean, I don't come up here often, but last time I was up here, it was like 2 cars. My grandfather's Napa store was right there. And that building. I don't know what's in here now. This other building out here used to be Mabe Cartwright. My dad worked in that building. And one of his very closest friends, there was a little Unocal 76 station here. And it's still there. Somebody's working on it. The old man there was like his best friend or something, I guess, in his last couple of years. I didn't talk to my dad the last 14 years of his life. I just had enough of, you know, I hadn't talked to my mom the last 20 years. But a different note is, this is the undefeated champion of Welch right here. This thing gets hit 2 or 3 times a year by semis. It's like, come on, guys. Y'all should know this. Like how in the world are you not? I think he's just going to pull straight out. I'm going to let him. Go on, dude. I play his clutch but so much. You know, it is a hydraulic clutch on this thing, so it's a little, I ain't slipping it, but damn. Don't want to make things hot and pissed off. So if I break down up here, I'm kind of screwed. I mean, I have no cell phone service when I come up here. You got to be on their plan up here like everything else here. If you're not here, you're screwed, and if you are here, they're screwing you over. But man, this town, things seem to be so much smaller and compact together. Traffic light ain't here no more. I'm gonna go down that way after I go up here. I want to go up here by the trailer park first, and then it wasn't a great move on my part thinking about that. Like, he didn't have a signal and I assumed he was going straight, but because the other one went straight, and I followed him all the way out of Bluewell down to here, which I ain't trying to set no land speed records or anything. I'm just up here checking how things are, what they used to be and how they look now. And I do get a little depressed when I come up here. It ain't, even when I don't think about like my home life, where me and my sister's, the house that we grew up in, and how we grew up and that abuse and stuff. I just see how things just continue to die here. Like, I don't know, like some of the people I went to school are still here, and how did y'all make it? Like, it's so bad. Like this street right here this was the high society part of town. You lived on this road, and a few years back the state started buying up some of these houses and giving them as low income housing. I mean, the houses still look, at least they still look somewhat nice, but you didn't see shit like that on this road back then. I mean, I could be wrong on what I'm saying. I just know what I've been told. I haven't firsthand seen it and seen what they did, but I do remember them talking about that. I used to come up here quite often, but I think it was, but by the time I just washed my hands of family, like, it was a big fallout, and I had just had enough. You know, I'm divorced. I'm literally Chapter 13 bankruptcy at the time, and this world just kept trying to reach out and bring me back down to it. And I just, one day I just got up and said, you know what, that's it, it's enough. And I didn't come up here for 15 years. I didn't come up here again until my father died. Somebody reached out to somebody else that I know. A family member reached out to somebody they knew I knew them, and asked them if they knew where I was, and told me about that. You know, I mean, it's kind of sad in a way that we never made that peace. But even now, I mean, the man's been dead 10 years now. April made 10 years, and I still have this animosity and hate towards them and all this other crap. But you know what, enough of that crap. Let's get up here and just enjoy the motorcycle and being in a town and look at it and go, hey man, I made it. You know, I made it out of here. But there are a lot of people here that didn't think I would, and that's gonna be another story that's gonna come up around December. And it's not a hate thing, it's a kind of a ha-ha in your face thing. But we'll get to that to another day. But I just see how this is. You know, the big Sterling drive-in, that thing will be here when nothing else is here. Of course, it ain't as good as it once was. That's a whole other story. Yeah, I just don't want to sit up here and just dog people about the stories I know about them and what actually happened, and you know, there's news articles on it, so there's court cases on it. There's documentation on those things. Those things I do know for a fact, because I am kind of nosy like that. I damn do other things. Bowling alley, I wonder if they even still run this thing. Like last time I was up here, they was only having it open 2 days a year, but for a long time that was the shit. You know, you had to go to the bowling alley. Basically there wasn't nothing else. Oh, look there, somebody's got a dual sport. That looked like a dual sport anyway. I sat there and looked to see if I had turn signals on it or not, which up here doesn't really matter if they're running ATVs up and down the highway. Which I'm surprised I ain't seen one yet. I've seen a bunch of them on trailers. Oh. I mean, people come for a film. They never come up this way though. They'll run around Welch. I'm gonna Welch. I might run down to down to Davie Road, down to, well, at least down to Lower Shannon, because that's where I lived at, was Lower Shannon. And that road, like, people want to talk about, oh, you got to go to, like, Tell the Dragon. Dude, fuck Tell the Dragon. You come up this area take you to there. And they ain't got nothing on this shit. So here's my elementary school that I was 4th through 6th grade. I was in that school. And it looked like the building was cracked. Is that even a paved road anymore? That don't even look like a... Oh, I missed the... Duh. Started looking at one thing and missed the other one. That's how long it's been since I've been there. I didn't even notice it. Like, I was looking at the dirt road. I was like, man, that was it. I remember that. There used to be a mine shaft entrance right there or something. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to pull off here. I'm going to spin around and go back up in Edmore. I'll delete that out. No, actually, I'll probably just leave it in there because I think it's kind of funny. Like, somewhere you spent all these years of your life and you can't remember what the fuck's what. Oh. Yeah, let's do that first. I mean, when I was a kid though, it just felt like freedom just to get down to this road to get out of this damn trailer park. Oh, I doubt I see anybody I know up here. I ain't stopping and trying to. Like, you know, people that see this like, hey, you should have told us something like that. This is a more of a kind of like a little bonsai trip or something, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just wanted to do this trip one time in my life because there's other places I'd really rather go ride this motorcycle at. And look at all the damn gravel right there. Oh, gears help. How about that shit? Too busy looking around, not paying attention. Well, at least I ain't dropping it because I'm getting panicky or something. Oh, well, I don't think that's the same fire station building that we were in at the time. I'm pretty sure it's not. But God, we got a lot of stories out of there, and one of the stories that actually changed my relationship between me. I gotta stay off that conversation about my dad. It happened right there. That's the thing that changed. But going up through here and see how things are. They're like, well, somebody used to live here. They used to live here. He used to live there. Funny to see a school bus there because my cousin actually drove the school bus and he lived right here, but he used to park up beside the trailer. I think it was that one right there. So somebody else doing that now. God, this road seems so narrow now. I know it ain't changed. It's just things aren't just the way you're ever going to remember them. I don't remember these damn mobile homes being this close together either, but they are. Like, I feel like I'd have a hard time if I passed another motorcycle on this road. It seems so narrow. But a lot of this is all different now too. They sold this. I think everybody here now is a lot owner. Used to know some people lived up on that hill. Used to come down here and play all the time. This last one before the bridge, there's an old man that lived here. I used to go talk to him almost on a daily basis. Just sit there and smoke cigarettes. I was like between 16 and 18 years old. I'd sit down there just about every day and smoke a cigarette with him. Yeah, I was smoking as a teenager. But if you look up on a hill, there's a pickup truck up there now, but there used to be a mobile home there and I lived there. I think they changed that. They actually named that Russ Hill after they was trying to zone this out to sell it. And that was lot 48. That's 54. I thought it was 48. Or maybe the numbers ain't even right on these things anymore, but I know it's one of those damn trailers. But yeah, here's the spot. When I was telling that story, this double wide's here now, but that wasn't there at the time. There was a big building there, and there was this piece of concrete sitting here. We used to come up here and just sit here and chillax. Somebody's up there just blowing bubbles. I wonder if that's the Lewis still owns that. was Oliver Lewis Sr. who had that place last time I was up here and actually sat over there. I used to run around with the son. We got into a massive car accident with the son. There was another mine entrance up there. Like, it always makes me worry about like places up there, because all these things are shafts. So, I mean, if you take off the top layer of West Virginia, it looks like an ant farm down here. And it's like, well, that gas seeps up through there. Man, this looks so much. See, they cut that whole mountainside off. That was all woods back at the time. All that up there, there used to be trailers up there. It don't look like there's shit up there now. Looks like some sign up here. Maybe it's part of the dump. Just come up here, and that dude's son, one of these spots right here, I think it was this one right here, where he used to be at. So people wonder why I am the way I am. This is why. This is where I come from. You know, my sister had a place up here. I think it was in that spot there. I know it's not the same mobile home, because I'm pretty sure the one they had burnt down. And JJ lived there. So really, I'm doing this video for me. So, you know, I always figured, like, if damn, this just ends, I want to do a hard turnaround in the middle of the road up here. Oh well, I mean, the first time won't be the last. I don't think you can go much farther past that right there. It looks like that's the end of it, so that might be fun. That's where the school bus used to turn around. Like, yeah, there's full-size school buses up here, and they turn them around right there like that. It's crazy. I gotta be careful here, though. I am not going up there. Not in a motorcycle. Not in this motorcycle anyway. Even though this motorcycle is made to do exactly just that. That's the fun part about it. Some guys I knew, two brothers, lived up there at the time, and both of them died of overdose. I think it was both of them was overdose. I'm pretty sure it was. I might have to contact somebody up here at Newham and get a clarity on that, but the rumor mill, that's what I always worry about when I talk about anybody, what happened to them. It's like, man, I don't know it firsthand, and I'm getting it secondhand. It sucks. I fell off that hill when I was about 16 drunk with that dude. That dude, we was up there, his parents were gone, and we all told each other's parents we was staying the night somewhere else. We went up there and got wasted, and I fell off that damn hill. That's such a retarded kid, man. But, you know, in a very strict household, so that's one thing. If you're over strict on your kids, every time they get a chance to do something, they're going to do it. And ask me how I know, because it was me. I did it. Mean little shits. It's stupid, but I just didn't care. I didn't care at all. Like, I made up my mind when I was really young, like 5, 6 years old. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I can't wait to turn 18. I can't wait to turn. I'm out of here. I'm going in the military. I knew then, and I'm not making it up and just saying that shit. I really was like that. A bunch of people here always told me I'd never make it, never be nothing. I wouldn't live to see I was 30 and all that other stuff. And that's the other video I was talking about. I'm trying not to get into that, but you know, they were wrong. All they did was motivate me even harder. And I was always going to go into the Air Force. And then the older sister, which I have two sisters, they're both older, but the middle child, she went to the Air Force. And I was like, well, shit, I can't do that. She went in there. That's why I didn't go in the Air Force. And then I ran into this Marine recruiter, and he just pulled my punt card. I wonder if the sign's still there. Yeah, somebody bought that. I think somebody bought that sign for my grandfather, and they put it there as a kind of just a novelty thing, and they end up Googling map this damn thing, and it actually says that's Russ Road. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't care if people know my name. It don't matter to me. I got so much damn security freaking crap on me. Hell, I can't even run my own social security number without being called. I mean, at least some of these people are taking somewhat care of their places. I mean, but it just sucks when you got a nice place, and look at this pile of shit sitting here. And that right there did not always look like that. It used to be a telephone booth right there. The Allens lived there. They kept it really nice. We used to sit there and play basketball with his son and get into little fist fights every once in a while, but that was just kids. I mean, it was dominated by boys up here, teenage boys. So you're going to have that. But yeah, some of these places actually look halfway decent, but it used to all look really nice. I remember when all these places used to look really nice, and then a couple of them would look kind of grungy a little bit, but then that would straighten up. Man, this place just seems so small. And we skateboard down this damn road, see how far we can ride a wheelie and jumping bikes in the air. Like, man, I'm sitting there looking at it now, it's like, damn, I wonder if we got killed by traffic or something, because you can't see around the curve. Yeah. Yeah, some people just end up buying the lot next to them because the trailer burned down, but hell, some of these trailers, 1960 models. I think that one that was up on the hill, my dad's was a 74. I was born in 74. That's when he put it up there, but after he died, he had let it rot so bad that somebody bought it, gutted it, and redid it, and it's actually one of those trailers up there. I think that we passed it, but actually I should go back up there and look at that. I'll look at the video later and see how it actually is. But yeah, man, this is where I spent age 11 to 18, was right up in here. And this was an upgrade compared to Lower Shannon. It's funny because there's two Shannon roads. There's Upper Shannon, which is on a flat bottom, and then there's Lower Shannon, which you go straight up the hill. And in Lower Shannon, there was only 5 houses in like about a 4-mile run on a dirt road. It used to be a coal mining camp. There used to be a shit ton of houses, but that had disappeared. And when I was a kid living there, it was only this. And my dad used to rent that damn. He owned a house, which he only got like $2,000 for it when he sold it. But he had to rent the property from the mines, and it was like a lifetime contract thing. As long as he did it, they would do it. So it was like 500 acres for $75 a year. Touch that now, can't do it. Just come down here and play basketball. Well, the bulls are still there. Kids are down here today. That's a lot upgraded compared to what it used to be. There was a set of monkey bars and 2 basketball goals. That was it. Dwayne Dotson. I don't know who Dwayne Dotson is. But yeah, some of the people that stayed up here, I went to school with, man, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I think most of them now work. They either work in a hospital, which I don't even think there's a real hospital here anymore. More like clinics, because they shut down the majority of it, and they ship you all out like 30 miles away to Bluefield or Beckley, and then wish you the best of luck, because they just don't have the money and the resources here to do it. And it's nothing against them. It's just such a poor area that it can't financially even support the hospital, and the state ain't gonna give that much funding because the population's down so much. It's a cause and effect thing. Like I don't even know how we got for like city cops or stuff here anymore. I have no idea. I know they were downsizing that, and I had heard, and I don't know this to be true, and I don't think it is, but they were taking like the city cops and just making them state troopers, and the state troopers just took over the whole area. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know. I haven't seen a city cop yet. You used to have to watch it on this road too. Oh, that's a good idea. Put a laundromat in. That works. That's not what, take an old building like that, do that with it. Used to go to summer Bible study and that thing, which we were the worst kids for that. Went down there and flirted with this young girl the whole time I was doing it. I'm not interested in going into the Sterling there. Last time I was in there was when he died, and everybody went there because it was famous for the submarine sandwich. And it just changed, because instead of doing things in-house or buying, basically the person who owns it, my understanding is they just go to Sam's Club, buy shit in bulk, and then sell it in there. Same food, but it just doesn't taste the same. Or maybe you just supposed to change, but nobody agreed. Everybody agreed that it wasn't the same as what it once was. I need to learn how to make those. Do them at home. I bet you I can make a killer. I'm a pretty decent cook. But yeah, that's big town of Welch. It's hard to believe that this town was one time called the miniature New York City, especially the city part of it. And it's not big to begin with, but it's just so populated. And mines died and other mines died. I just nicknamed it the land of a fool's dream, because the whole time I was here as a kid, and even after I went into the Marine Corps and I came back and I was here for a couple months, it was everybody I would talk to, the people that I knew, they were still doing the same thing. Nothing had changed, and they're like, oh, they're going to do this, and oh, they are going to do that, and that's going to change the sound. The town's coming back, and all this other shit. And I would just shake my head and go, no, it's never coming back. Coal is done. And I hate that for all the people that spent their life in it and try to make their living off of it and stuff. But it just is. I mean, we only sell that shit to other countries. You know, they even try this clean coal bullshit, and it's just not. Unless we ever hit a way where we need a power source again that's that bad, and like, it sounds like I'm talking shit about them, and I'm not. I'm just stating the facts. We just got so many other ways to produce power. We really don't need that one. But on one hand, on the other hand, I think we do need it because we still need competition to drive prices down on other shit. You know, I mean, we can't all solar everything. They keep trying to electric everything, and it's just not going to work. Not in our lifetime. You know, and then we're all doing self-driving everything. I mean, we're trying to, every single job in the country, we're trying to take it over so a computer does it. And it's just, okay, well, that kills the entire industry on everything, because then you're only going to need a handful of people to fix the computer robots. And then what's everybody else going to do? You're going to spend the rest of your time. You ain't going to be able to go to work and work on your computer robot because you're going to have to spend all your time at home trying not to get robbed. It's just a failed thing. Now, Route 16 back out of here would be really fun. And if I was in good shape, physically, like I've gotten a little out of shape. That ain't what I mean, but I mean just like with all. Hopefully this is my last surgery and it fixes my problems. That's a hell of a ride. You run 16 all the way over. That's a killer road. I mean, you got to go through some some shady towns for sure. Not even the whole dealership's gone. There used to be a Ford dealership here that my dad worked at, and the sheriff, the city sheriff, owned it. Jaeger Ford sales, and then the bus buildings was down here too. That's all been torn down and gone. That's why we've seen all the buses up here by the high school entrance. I don't think I'm going to go up. I was thinking about going up on that hill, just right up there, but I don't know. I'm just going to go down here a little ways, get down here about Lower Shannon, now I'll turn around and start heading back out. Go on the other side of this. I'm not really interested in this part of the road, but this is part of my history. People are getting water. A lot of natural springs around here. But you got to watch those too. Man, the gas tanker out of here, man, that's rough. I drove gasoline tanker for a long time. This would not be a fun way to go. I think it was a gas tanker anyway. It was a damn sure gas tanker type. I didn't notice the placard on him or nothing, but I wasn't really looking that hard. You just go down here. There's a Quadrones store, and he was old. Man, that dude was up in probably in his 80s when we were teenagers. Oh man, I guess they tore our bill completely down. The barbershop's gone too. But anyway, back to Quadrones. We used to go there and get beer, and he wouldn't ideas. Not at all. He didn't care. He was broke. He didn't give a shit anymore. And he would, like, we go in there, like, maybe middle of winter, and we had these high school baseball caps, and we'd wear those things and go in there and, like, oh, you boys play ball today? He's like, yeah, did you win? No, man, we got our butts kicked. Ah, hell, get you another 6-pack on me. All right. So we buy a case and they get a 6-pack for free. Or we got her buying the cheap wine. I'm gonna have to wash this bike, get all this crap off here. Gotta get the McDowell County off the bike. I know it sounds bad. I said that, I shouldn't say that, but I've felt that way plenty of times. Like it's just, you know, cool for me to come down here and ride. I'm in a lot better mood than I thought I was going to be. Damn it, Billy, you want to give me some road? You stupid fuck. And this is one of the roads too. Like, I was coming through a 2-wheel drive pickup truck one time when my parents still, even though they lived up there, they still got their mail down here in Caples. And 2-wheel drive pickup truck. Road wasn't wet, it was just the morning dew, and just damn near spun it out. I got completely sideways right there in that turn. And I wasn't actually going fast. Like, I was not in a hurry at all. It just caught me off guard. And a lot of it's this cold muck and all this other crap on the road too. But last time I felt something that was that slick over in that condition was I was in Okinawa and I was on coral, because they use coral in their asphalt. What could possibly go wrong when it rains, right? You know, what do they call it, slicker and snot. Since I'm up here, I can talk like that. It might be bringing some of my old West Virginia accent out, but that's the funny part. I've been away from here for so long. When I do talk to somebody that's up here, I totally hear the accent. And when I lived here, I didn't know. I was like, man, what the hell? You all sound funny to me. So what the hell are you talking, you know, smack to me for? But it's really a deal. One of the cool, you know, things here. The train. I watched a big train wreck. There's the first elementary school, which I don't even know what Safe Incorporated. I don't know what the hell that is. That was the elementary school, and we go up here to Lower Shannon. There's like 6 or 7 kids on a bus, and I was in kindergarten at the time, and the bus took off without me, and they got like halfway home before they realized, oh, he ain't there. So that lady, I started walking down the road. I was gonna walk home a couple miles. Didn't think nothing of it. I was worried about getting in trouble because I missed the bus, and it was actually a married in aunt at the time that caused me to miss that bus, and she wasn't trying to help me. She seen me and just said, waved her hand at me and said, bye. Joyce, fucking bitch. Shouldn't do that. But yeah, they turned around and come back and got me. I was halfway up to here by then. I knew some people that lived down there. Another person I know is gone. Man, I know just so many people that never left here and that are just, they're dead. They all died something, you know. I think him and his sister both died, which, you know, Brian, he partied a lot. I partied with him right before I went to Marine Corps last month there. I was dating a girl out there, and what's the name of that area right there? We passed it. I'll think of the name of it in a minute. But he was trying to date this other girl, and he was my ride to get out there. So I think the one girl kept dating him just so he would bring me out there to see her friend. So I didn't have a car or anything at the time. And damn, was it Maitland? Maitland, yeah. I can't remember the names of these places now. Which on one hand, it's got to say, on the other hand, it's so glorious. I escaped it, you know. But yeah, people talk about, oh, I want to go with some twisty turn roads. Shit. Buddy, you in the wrong place, man. You want to do this shit. I don't know why this GPS still goes. I didn't need it. I knew where I was going. But that's Lower Shannon. And that's all trash dump now. So that's awesome. Like, that's where all these damn trucks are going, just hauling the trash around from other places. How sad is that? Your childhood home's a dump. It was already a dump. Now it's really, literally a dump. I do get a little pissed off about that because I got a couple dogs buried up there. But I mean, what are you gonna do? They owned it. You didn't own that land. But that was back in the days we could just go outside and you just shot a gun if you wanted to, or whatever you wanted to do, you just did it. You didn't think too much about it. I mean, you didn't have money to do a whole lot of things, but this is crazy. I haven't been down to this far in probably about 25 years. There was no reason for me to really go down this way. At this point, I'm just kind of interested in see what's going on. Of course, I better watch my ass a little bit too. Not like I'm trying to be a brag or anything, but hell, I got a motorcycle that's worth more than these people's houses are, and that's not a good thing. See, there's a lot of a shit ton of crime around here. This turned like really fun on a motorcycle, but not. Which I'm gonna go slow as shit around it because it looks like a bunch of kicked up gravel. But even in your pickup truck, like you're throwing 4 revolutions on your wheel to fucking make a turn. And I mean, look how far I'm leaned over, doing 15 miles an hour. Yeah, that semi's catching me. I better pick it up just a touch. Because I'm gonna always do this shit every day, and I'm more or less being a tourist. So that's kind of fun. Can't see around the turn though. I ain't gonna go barreling ass around something I'm not familiar with, especially on a motorcycle. They did let out some bigger animals around here. I don't know how far I'm gonna go down through here. When I find a place I like to turn around at, I'll do something. But do you believe he's bringing that damn semi down through here though? Like, dude, you're eating. Yeah, that's the other thing you gotta worry about, because you go around a curve and hear one of them come, they gotta use the whole damn road. I know he does because I do that. So I know what it's like. But you come over here and you better be ready to stop and make a maneuver. Fucking on a motorcycle, they're doing like 25 miles an hour. I think this thing's got a quick shifter on it. One of the problems I'm having with my spine's on my neck, so my C5 to C6 is gone. It's just worn out. So, and my C6 to C7, they're definitely doing the C5 to C6, and the doctor was leaving the C6 to C7 as an option, but I've actually gotten worse since then. So, and one of the problems is with that is it starts really messing with like your left arm and your chest. You start feeling like you're having a heart attack even though you're not. Sometimes you feel like you're short of breath and all this other stuff. And so that's why I really shouldn't be on a motorcycle. But like if you ever sit in a certain way and like people say, oh, my foot fell asleep or my leg fell asleep or my arm fell asleep, whatever, and everybody's done that. You just sit the wrong way too long and then you move and you get that tingly rush feeling that comes running up back through you. That's what my arm feels like constantly, and it also feels like it's just worn out. So it's not really a smart idea, but see how much of the road he's going to have to use here. I actually wasn't as bad as I thought he was going to be on that one. I thought he was going to come over a lot further, but of course that one didn't look as long. It didn't look like a 50 footer, so but yeah, that's kind of the deal. But like I can't sit in a chair. I can't sit down in the chair in a recliner. I just start aching, hurting really bad. I have to move every so often, and I can't lay down. Like if I lay down on my right side, I can't lay on my back at all, flat. I never could. But I usually lay on my side. But if I lay on my right side, it'll feel like you're driving a nail through the top of my forearm. And if I lay to my left side, it feels like you're driving a nail through my wrist. And it's all just nerves. It's all nerve pinch coming in my neck. So that's gotten way worse. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to be fusing the C6 to C7 now. I'll find that out on the 11th. That's how my thing's working out for me. It's like, so I got a couple weeks left to go, and everybody would kill me if they knew I was doing this right now. So, but the only person's opinion other than my own that I actually give a shit about, she knows what's up, and she told me to go. That's my wife, and she's like, do it while you can, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this afterwards. I believe it will. I sold my other bike when I sold that other one last year. The guy who bought it had just had that surgery. He was on week 5. It took him 5 years to get that surgery. I was like, man, I don't know how the hell you dealt with that 5 years. But he didn't do what I did for a living either. So that makes a little bit of a difference because I drive for a living. So those things kind of mess things up a little bit. Gotta make sure the camera's still going on. Instead of running my mouth to nobody, that wouldn't be the first time. Damn, there is nowhere to turn around in this fucking place, dude. Man, it's fun to go down there through here, but I'd rather just go ahead and flip it back and go back around the other way. I gotta get out of here, out of this area by like 5 to make it home. I like to get home before dark. I am definitely doing some iron butt to that shit today, though, because that is one of the things, one of my bucket list things to do is to complete the iron butt, get the brass buns trophy. There's a little bit complicated things you got to do with that, but it's like 1,000 miles in 24 hours on a motorcycle, which I don't, as a truck driver, that doesn't sound that bad. But it's kind of tough. Yeah, I mean, I've done 700 miles in a semi. I've actually done over 1,000 miles in a day in a semi, but that wasn't legal, and that was back in the day of the paper logs, where you just did whatever the hell it is you wanted to do. We always said this road was made by somebody on a bulldozer chasing a damn snake. That's what it seems like. I guess I'm going to have to pull over into the gravel somewhere and just flip this thing around. I just don't really like doing that. I don't like unsure footing. Then why the hell do you have an adventure bike? I told you. I would have bought a GS regardless, which the GS on the bike is German. I can't pronounce the names, or I could, but I just can't recall exactly how to say them off the top of my head. But it just means, in translation, it just means on-road, off-road. And they do the GS model, which doesn't have any, you know, it's made more or less made for street, and you can do a little off-road with them. Then they do the adventure model, and it comes with all the crash bars and the bigger fuel tank and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, hell, I'll just get the adventure model. I'm not really big into riding on dirt. I grew up in the dirt, so I really don't care about riding on dirt. And that's a weird looking place, ain't it? But regardless, I thought about pulling down in that, but it looks like you don't want to fuck up there. For sure. But yeah, that's all it means. Like, So I was like, well, if I bought that bike, I'd be putting all that shit on there anyway, except for the bigger fuel tank. I mean, it's got a 7-gallon tank on it. I don't, it's nice, but it kind of sucks too, because nobody else has a 7-gallon tank, so you're still stopping for gas. And then you take, like my wife's bike, that Rebel, I don't know why they got a 3-gallon fuel tank on that dude, but that thing, you know, every 110 miles you're starting to look for fuel. And now when you're out by yourself on this bike though, you can fill it up and ride all pretty much all day, you know, if you're, unless you're flat out putting them down. Like I topped up there in Bluefield before I come down here, because I don't know like how they are about using cards down here now and all that stuff. It's been so long. I did bring a little bit of cash on me just in case for that reason, but oh, it's Big Jenny. What are you doing, Jenny? That's church up there. I think I'm gonna flip it right here and call that good. I really don't feel like going all the way down to Davie. There's no reason. I'm gonna wait for Billy to come back down through here, I think. I'm ultra careful on gravel. That's a 500-pound bike, you know. I mean, I could be cocky with it, but I just don't feel like trying to pick one up with my back issues. You know. So let's get on out of here. Go back this way a little bit. But yeah, people talk about Tail of the Dragon. Dude, come down here. Come down here and start running these roads. You'll learn it real fucking quick. That ain't the end all be all. It's just you know, to us, we just call that a nice road. You know, all these roads around here are like that. I'm half tempted though just to barrel down 16, run it back down into Virginia and cut back across. But man, that'd take a while. I wish I'd have thought of that before I ever left. But I come down here to film Welch. You know, parts of Welch that meant something to me. I didn't come down here to do any crazy riding. I mean, shit, man, I got great roads like this not far from my house. So this might be the last time I ever come down here. Like I said, it's just been about me saying I wanted to do this in my life and saying, yeah, you know what, I did do it. I did beat this town, and I did get out of here, and I do own that motorcycle, and I'd love to know that guy's name. I really wish I did. I would seriously doubt he's alive now. He may be. I'm gonna wishfully think that, yeah, he's still out here riding one of them bikes here today. That's what he's retired doing. The BMW guys are kind of weird. Like, for the most part, there's a lot of snobby assholes. Like, all motorcycles have, like, you know, like stereotypes around some of them they're just there. Like, if you're into Japanese bikes, not much, other than, like, you know, the crotch rocket guys and stuff. And I'm a crotch rocket guy. That's still my favorite looking motorcycle. I mean, everything that a motorcycle can be, you find it in a sport bike. And some guys are just die-hard cruisers, and I've said it in other videos, I'm just not a V-twin guy. The power to weight ratio on those is just, hey, they look good if you like that sound, and I'm okay with that sound. And I've owned a couple of them, and actually I went ahead and Nice Fans, and that's the very first one I had. That damn thing could give you a headache if you rode it like this all day. It was so damn loud, you know, and that thump and that vibration and all that shit. It's just not who I am. I like inline engines. I'm not a big fan of twin engines, and that's funny because both the motorcycles set in my garage right now have a twin type engine. This is a Boxer. It's a twin engine, one on each side. Then my wife's, you know, Honda Rebel. That's a parallel twin. You know, most of these sport bikes out there today, sport looking bikes, you know, not like super sports. They're all parallel twins. A couple of inline fours. Now that's my favorite engine, is the inline four. That Honda 650F. That's the reason I took it over to Kawasaki, even though you got a little bit more bang for the buck value with the Kawasaki 650 over that Honda. There was, I mean, speed difference, there wasn't a lot. Horsepower and torque, you know, that the inline four was a touch faster, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna blow this guy's doors off. No, you weren't. But that was a very fun engine to run, especially when it was geared. I mean, you're on a sport bike and you're constantly shifting, where like if you had like a super crotch rocket, you basically get up to speed and like 0 to 60, and you just go from first to sixth, as you can't really do it on the highway. you couldn't really use that here. Yeah, instead of fixing the road, we're just gonna put some markers there and be like, yeah, you might want to stay away from that. As you go down over that bankside, buddy, it might be a while for somebody finds your ass. Nobody didn't see you do it. But usually the best roads are just like that, though. You got a lot of risk. It wasn't really much of a wildlife problem when I was here because of all the damn poachers back in the 60s and 70s. That was another thing that was bad about being here. If you're looking for a place to deer hunt, you couldn't do it here. I think that they finally did open it up where you can start hunting with a bow, but still, it's hard to get out and even try to get them. And wasn't a crap ton of population at the time. And these coal miners that were living here, you know, from the 40s to 60s, even to the 70s, they would be out on these minefield places and strip mine shit. They'd see 10 deer standing there. They'd kill every damn one of them. There wasn't one they liked, they left them all laying. That's a historical fact. And if you try to go to a different county up north to find a place to deer hunt, they'd ask you where you're from. McDowell County? Nope. Instant no. Just because they just assumed you were one of them, which is profiling, and profiling is wrong. But that was the case. You just had a reputation if you come out of here because of that. Whew. But we go around the curve and go, wee. That's why a car gets worn out up here. Like, you go for somewhere like Fredericksburg, you put 100,000 miles on a car, it's like, well, that's not even really broke in yet. You come up here and put 100,000 miles on it, and because of this, left, right, on the gas, on the brake, on the gas, it just gets a lot of wear and tear. But I tell you what, you end up with some damn good drivers. I don't know how all these NASCAR drivers come out of North Carolina. It just had to be just because of their location, because the guys up here just spank their asses, especially on like a road course. Like, I never understood that. Well, it just got some spray from somewhere. It must have been coming off that hillside over there. I know it ain't raining, which I didn't check the weather before I left this morning, but I did the other day, and it wasn't supposed to rain today. But something just missed it across my face shield. But yeah, I don't want to screw around here too much. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me either being up here and I'm sitting in the sunshine and get rained on. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Which I'm just curious. I ain't even trying to do any speed through here. Why? I learned how to drive on these roads. I got pretty damn good at it too. But I come up here now and I'm like, I don't even care. I'm old. I don't even... People start yelling at me, do the speed limit, asshole, which was me 20 years ago. Do the damn speed limit. But I do try to be a little bit more courteous when I see people catching up to me. Oh. But yeah, you will learn real quick how to drive up here. Because when you first come through, the first time you do it, you're going to be sweating your ass off. And then you're going to start trying to figure out how to be smooth about it. Those things all make a big difference. I hope this camera's recording all this shit. I didn't check it. I just looked to see if the damn little red light was still going. I brought 4 batteries, a way to charge the batteries, a second camera that I was going to mount it, then I decided not to. I'm just going to use it. I got a charger I can plug straight into it. Because the problem with GoPros, man, you do run through some battery, especially filming at any quality level. Like if you back them down to where the battery lasts, you're going to end up with a video that's pretty much unwatchable. So, but yeah, we'll go back and head through town. I don't really feel like going up the end of North Welch. Straight stretch. I didn't spend a lot of time. Well, I did after I was out of high school. I spent more time in that area, but just put this on a map. I need to exit off that. I never meant to do that fucking, what, 15 minutes ago? Oh. Take a little breather here in a minute. But yeah, as far as cell phone service and shit up here, I ain't got none, so there ain't no reason to sit there and stare at a freaking phone. I'll change, you know, get somewhere to take a break, get a drink, change these batteries out. I should have plenty of time on this memory card though. I think I got the brand new one in there, and I cleared the other 2 out. So I think it's like a 10-hour card, what I'm recording at. The other one's 9, then I got another one's like 2. mean, do y'all really want to sit there and look at me instead of running my mouth? You can't see me doing that anyway. Helmet on. And I'm a full-faced helmet guy. But yeah, man, it's like to go where I started. You have to go up in there. That's where the mines used to be. A bunch of no trespassing shit up there now. Cable cars just go across the road here. I mean, it is an interesting ride if you're going over to Davie and keep on going past that. It just gets poorer. So I don't know other way to say it. Like it just keeps going down. You might have a convenience store down there. Sort of. At least last time I was down there, I can't even remember them having a gas station down there. On one hand, I really can't even believe I'm even up here. It's a place I tried so hard to escape. But, man. Yeah, see, the post office is gone, and they just put the little mailboxes there on the side. I think by the end, my parents had moved their mail down to Main City. I forgot what killed her. He had COPD and all this other stuff. He actually got into a car accident once, and he broke his neck. And the last time I saw him was up at the Bluefield Mall, and he still had bolts going from his halo that they put on you, holding his neck and everything in straight. And that dude, we drove fast, we did stupid shit, but he just didn't know when to quit, you know. And I think he ended up kind of losing control and come across the road, and he hit a damn dump truck head on, and it put him through the window, and he's lucky he even survived that. Yep, Camp Hill Elementary. Something else now. I can't even tell what that is. But yeah, the Hemp Hill school sign's still there behind that. They didn't bother to take that down. They just put a piece of wood over top of it. You can see it on the back side. That place was crazy though, because every time they mow the grass up there, it smelled like watermelon. Oh, well, let's get back up over the hill here. So mighty McDowell County, and this ain't but my county's actually really huge, but it ain't much to it. Like left, as far as you hit a spot here and a spot there, everything else is just like this, running between them. But Welch was the main deal. But you know, like I didn't get, because all the road construction coming in here, I'm 30 minutes behind now. Road construction in Virginia, they was down to one lane. Then I got down here and they hit road construction. Like, man, what the hell's with me today? And finding one lane closures and waiting for the other side and a pilot truck to come through. It was constant.